What is truly growing up? What is the process of growing up all about? At what stage does one feel that they are truly grown up? What does it take to be truly grown up? And yeah, how should you go about becoming a truly grown up person? Now, when I speak of being grown up, this is ideally for somebody who's 27, 28, because I really feel you grow up, truly grow up when you're 27, 28. You might make a couple of million rupees when you are 22, 24, but there will always be this nadani in you, which will not go away. So I've seen a lot of people who are very flamboyant, outspoken, very energetic, almost irritatingly so energetic. Crore kama rahe hai. Those kind of people who are 20, 22, but they're very dumb. Because that khidmat, that respect only comes when you're 27, 28, at least for men. Women have their own journey, but this is what I think it means to be a grown-up man. Number one, money or how much you make of it is hardly an indicator of how grown up you are. I repeat, money and how much money you make is hardly an indicator of how grown up you are. There are many people who probably make 20,000 rupees who are far more enriched and have more potential, and it's a joy to be around them versus somebody who's making 10 times more than that. So money is not a true barometer of growing up or being a grown-up person. But then cover, what is a true barometer of a grown-up person? I feel the number one thing which you need to have is a coming of age empathy if you wish to actually be a grown-up person. Any man who doesn't have empathy is an ass, is a viklang. You will see a lot of uncles who talk about how much money they make when they're having their whiskey, and then they wipe the whiskey from the beer off their the mustache. That is not a grown-up man. Somebody who hoots his own horn all the time is not a grown-up person. You need to have empathy. You need to be a good listener. You need to be humble. Let's put humble out of the equation right now, because humble is a very difficult state of being, and I don't want to be humble. Like, fuck humility. I want you to be a bit of a braggart. I want you to be a bit of an arrogant guy, but I really don't want you to be humble, because humble, I'll tell you who's humble. MS Dhoni is humble. Do you really want to be MS Dhoni? No, shut the fuck up. Think about it for a second. Do you really want to be an MS Dhoni, or do you want to be a Virat Kohli? Do you really want to be somebody who's always humble? Like, it's very idealistic, whereas Virat Kohli is a bit more realistic. He's very, you hit me, I hit you twice. You come at me, I will come at you for 10 years. मुशफिकुर रहमान का dismissal होता है, कोहली जाके बात करता है. That is a different kind of guy. But anyways, I'm getting off tangent. Off field is a very nice guy. If you really want to be an empathetic human being, that's a great step towards going up. Number two, somebody who reads books. This is my channel. This is my opinion. I feel only people who read books have true humility. Not humility, have true knowledge. Because when you're reading books, you're constantly upgrading or adding to the dynamic of your understanding of the realism and the offerings of the world. Without actually reading, you're always at a disadvantage, and it's so easy to be a grown-up person if you read books. I would go as far as saying there are many 22-year-olds, who read a lot of books, and they probably have more empathy than other people. However, the quest is to contain and that empathy. What happens by the time you're 27, 28 is that you start to look for your final career. You start to look for your final vocation, whether it's a job, whether it's a business you want to do. You try to look for that. And in that period, your transformation to a new man happens. I feel, I sound very funny, man. I feel when I truly grew up, I think I truly grew up when I was 28, and I told myself that, you know what, this is my way of life, and everybody says I'm just different for the heck of it, but I feel I should be this certain way, and I should carry forward that thing, because if you don't carry your own torch of your thought and your value system in life, then you probably won't be remembered or respected, So it's good to have your own opinion. It's good to move forward with that. What is not good is being a bad listener, comparing yourself with your best friend in your zone of 3 or 4 people and remaining in that zone. That can also be a good thing if that works out for you, but you need to be empathetic. You need to read books. To be a truly grown-up person, you need to respect women. Yes, I said it. You need to respect women. You should not call any girl a slut because she's not effing you and she's effing your best friend. If you're doing that, or if you've done that in the past, look back at that and say, how does that reflect on you? Just because we live in a world where men are apparently more needy in terms of physical gratification, it doesn't mean that we look down on women and call them sluts or whatever just because they also want to have sex. So I always feel, for me, if any of my friends, for example, this is my measure of a man. I used to have a very good friend, okay, but the way he spoke about women, man, okay. Sometimes we get drunk, we talk a lot of shit about women, all of these things I'm saying, it goes out of the window and we talk a lot of shit. But this is like in normal waking life, there's a respect we have towards women. And if you really want to be a grown-up guy and really want to be respected, you got to make sure that you are not somebody who just is disrespecting women at every nook and corner, I'm not saying women are something, whoa. But if I have a friend who looks very badly at women, who talks a lot about their physical assets and who's always comparing, I think he's a bad person. Do you understand? If somebody is very turkey and very vociferous about how they feel for women, it just makes me so uncomfortable. I think that person can never grow up in life, number one. Number two, an empathetic person is not somebody who's just a good listener. He respects people. He tries not to bully other people just because he's superior to them. Number three, books. If you read a lot of books, I think you're on the right path of life. If you work out, you're on the right path of life. If you don't have these cornerstone habits, then I don't think you're really doing justice to yourself in life. So that's what I think growing up is about. Also, I think only men who marry grow up. That's my number 5 for you. Only men who marry grow up. Men who don't marry are somewhere cheap, somewhere look down on women, somewhere don't have the balls to get married. Marrying will humble you. It will give you so much of shit to think about that you will grow up. Your evolution will be accelerated in the process, and whether you like it or not, you will grow up. Men who don't want to marry, I don't think are grown up men. I'm not just saying this because I'm a married guy and I'm knee deep and I'm stuck in a marriage or whatever the hell. I'm saying it because I mean it. None of those statements are true, by the way, but I'm probably appealing to those people who are listening for the heck of listening, and I'm also appealing to those people who are listening for the heck of disputing what I'm saying. So I've said a bunch of things. I hope you're getting the point of it. This is probably going to be a series. I might continue it, might not continue it. This is called How to Grow Up, or Growing Up as a Man. I don't know what I'm going to title it, but I hope it's going to be a catchy title, and I'm probably going to get 1,000 of you to watch it. If you like this, consider subscribing, consider liking this video, and if you have any questions, do ask me. Being hung up on your ex is not a good sign of being grown up. Speaking ill to your father is not a good sign of growing up. Speaking ill to your father because somebody else in the family is doing much better than him is not a good sign of growing up. Honor your father. That is a very big step in being a man. Honor the marriage system eventually. Men who say, oh, we're just gonna die when we turn 50, 60, fuck off, man. Why am I doing this? I'm trying to be very smart right now. Fuck off, man. That's what I said. Anyways, peace out.